Hey, friends, and welcome to Let's Talk Motivation, the space where we keep it real, stay grounded, and remind ourselves that positivity isn't perfection, it's power. I'm Serena Miranda, your host, and today's episode is for anyone who has ever said, I know what I need to do, but I just don't feel motivated right now. If that's you, pull up a seat, grab a cafecito, and let's talk. The real talk about motivation. Let me say something that might surprise you. Motivation isn't always there. Even for someone like me, who is usually mostly positive and has this energy, right? And I literally host a podcast about motivation. There are days I wake up and I'm not in it. I'm not there. I don't feel it. But what I found is motivation's like a spark. And the truth is sparks fade. So what keeps that fire going? That's where intention, habit, and self-kindness come in. So some days, the most motivated thing you can do is just get out of bed or send that one email or smile when you'd rather cancel the day. And I felt like that yesterday. I'll share something with you. I woke up with a massive headache and I had all these plans. I was the night before mapping out my strategy for this work day. Because my kids were off at a graduation in Lubbock and I couldn't attend, which was really bumming me out, which may have given me the headache. I mean, I don't know, right? I'm a social being, so I like to be around my family whenever we can. And for me not to be able to attend the Lubbock graduation was really, it had me down. And maybe that's why I got the headache. I don't know. Life's weird, right? But I had to post a picture because every day I like to make sure I post a picture or do some type of story or a reel that has to do with my business. I just really feel I want to keep engaged with my customers or my viewers. So I took a selfie of me smiling. And then when I looked at that picture, I thought, wow, this is a great example of this smile on my face, but I don't feel that joy. That picture, that Serena that was in that picture was not feeling the joy, even though my smile looked good. And I have to say, I thought it was a pretty good selfie. I didn't feel it, right? Even if you're glowing and you're on full glam, good lighting and everything looked great. I think my highlighter was on point. I just felt really good. But when I looked at it, I was like, wow, there was a headache behind that. There was not a motivated person behind that picture. What no one saw when they posted it was that I had that terrible headache. I almost didn't show up at all on social media because I thought, I don't feel like posting anything today. I have a headache. I don't feel good. I didn't even want to get out of the house. And Ron, my husband, wanted to go eat. And I was like, you know how you feel like that. But I did, not because I was motivated to, but because I remembered my why. Because I learned to give myself permission to show up imperfectly, right? We have to show up imperfectly sometimes, and we have to be okay with that. So we never know what someone else is carrying. And at that moment, I thought, wow, to myself, that there's sometimes probably when I'm bugging my client for certain things and they don't feel motivated to give Serena her whatever she needs. And that's why grace matters so much, right? For others and for yourself. One other thing that I remember is I see motivation in a different light since I've turned 50, because I'm putting myself in situations that are around people that give the support right? So I think sometimes it's easy for us to be, as business owners, if you're self-employed or as leaders, to be like, I don't need to send that email, or show up to that networking event. No one will notice if I'm not there. And since I committed to this new coaching program that I'm in, we meet once a week on Thursdays. At the beginning, I had to go through that. I really felt at one time, weekly, where I was like, they won't miss me if I'm not there. I don't need to give my goals for the week or for the month, or put the same goal down over and over again and not meet it, and not feel motivated to really put effort into those goals. And then I thought to myself, what are you doing? What is happening here, Serena? You want to build a business, you want to grow a business, you need to show up. And my coach is really great. She is tough, and she asks or she tells, and she's like, we will see you on Thursday. She doesn't ask, will we see you on Thursday? She's like, be ready for celebration call on Thursday. Be ready for your 1 week goal and your monthly goal. And I have seen myself grow to where that spark goes down really low and then fires back up. And I think it has to do with the women that I'm around on a weekly basis. Before we dive back in, let me share something that's been helping so many of my listeners lately. Are you legally ready? Most business owners aren't until it's too late. I'm Serena Miranda, and I help small business owners stay protected with affordable access to a provider law firm. Whether it's contracts, collections, employee issues, or compliance questions, you don't have to go at it alone. Legal protection is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Let's get your business legally ready. DM me, Serena Protects, or click the link in the show notes to schedule a quick legal readiness call. Now let's get back to it, because staying legally ready is one of the smartest moves you can make as a business owner. And like my calendar, I definitely block out my calendar where I have to be around these three groups of women. One is my BSB group, and the second is my NABO, National Association of Women Business Owners group, and the third is my Inspired Action Coaching group. Those three groups of women give me something different. It's a different vibe for each one. And I really feel it has given me a recipe for success. Success to keep my spark constantly lit. And it's at different levels. I'm never always at full flame, right? That's ridiculous. I mean, life doesn't work like that. But it definitely has given me the tools to make sure I'm where I need to be, showing up. I'm really thankful for that. So what I do when my motivation is low is be around those three groups of women on a weekly basis. I also like to unplug and get outside. Like I really like to drink my coffee without my cell phone and sitting outside early, because it gets too dang hot here in South Texas. But early, I like to sit and just listen to the outside, the birds, the quietness in the mornings, and drink my coffee. And sometimes I just let myself rest without guilt, because rest is productive. And more people are sharing about that. Sleep the 8 hours, rest when you need it. But I always check in with myself, right? Is this the moment where I need a push, or is this the moment where I need a pause? And that self-reflection has helped me as a businesswoman as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter. That has helped me grow. And I wish I had this knowledge when I was in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s, because I didn't pause a lot. I didn't give myself grace to pause. So motivation isn't about being high energy all the time. It's about staying connected to what matters to you and showing up in a way that's true to where you are today, right? I feel like I'm in a position in my life. My children are older, more self-sufficient. Even though once in a while I'll get a text, Mom, I fell, which I thought was funny. And I was like, what do you mean you fell? I fell by the pool. I hurt myself. And I'm like, I go through, are you okay? Do you need help? Are you, no, I'm fine. I just wanted to tell you. And that just makes my heart full that they still need me to give them reassurance that they're going to be okay, even as young adults. But it's important to know where you're at in your life, right? And to the listeners who need this today, right? So if you're listening to this and feeling a little off, like you've lost your spark or your spark's really getting low, let me tell you something. You're not lazy. You're not behind, and you're not failing. You are exactly where you need to be, and you're doing better than you think. And if no one's told you lately, I'm proud of you for pressing play on this episode of Let's Talk Motivation. That tells me you still believe in yourself, even in the days that it feels hard. And I ask you, if this episode gave you a little encouragement today, do me a favor and send it to a friend who may need it or may know somebody that needs it. Share it on your social media and tag me, please. I'd love to know what part hit home for you. And if you're going, or if you've got a reset routine or a mindset tip that works for you, send it my way. I'd love to share it in a future episode. And, this space is all about lifting each other up. So until next time, remember, you don't have to be perfect to make progress. You just got to keep showing up with love, with grace, and with a little motivation. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Motivation. I'm Serena, and I'll see you soon.